classes, let's talk about druids. A lot of work has been put in to make sure that all 4 druid specs are completely viable. And I say 4 because druids can also now differentiate between tanking and feral DPS. Every single melee in Classic is going to absolutely fight over whoever gets the feral druid in their group. And that's because druids now bring a new and improved Wind Fury called Wild Strikes. That's right, we now have Wind Fury for Alliance, and this is even a better Wind Fury for Horde. That's because Wild Strikes does not take up a weapon enhancement slot, meaning that rogues and warriors or anyone else can also use sharpening stones or poisons and still benefit from getting those huge Wind Fury procs. Feral DPS will get Savage Roar, a new finishing move that gives the kitty a raw 30% extra damage. This combined with Mangle will make Feral Druid DPS extremely sought after in all raid environments. As tanks, Feral Druids get a lot more survivability with Survival of the Fittest, but they can also bring that Wind Fury buff if they need to. Feral Druids finally get an interrupt, and they have more threat generation than ever before with the new ability Lacerate. And Boom Chickens are no longer a meme spec. Balanced Druids get Sunfire and Star Surge as new spells that round out their arsenal, but they also completely forego any sort of mana issues because they can get a rune that makes their Wrath spell completely free to cast. This means while leveling, you will literally never have to stop to drink. As for healers in Classic, Druids originally weren't even able to use most of their abilities. That's because of the way that buff capped work. If you don't know what that is, essentially you could only have up to 32 buffs on you at one time, and Druid heals would also count as a buff themselves. So if you accidentally threw a rejuve on your main tank, you might have actually pushed off their most important world buff. This is no longer the case, and Druids can finally use all of their abilities. Not only that, but they finally get some new abilities as well. Runes like Wild Growth will make Druids one of the most powerful raid-wide healing classes in the entire game. And if you're ever anticipating a lot of damage to go out, the Druid can perfectly prepare for all of that and have everyone healed up right after. Hunters are the